But when I stop to pause and think about the term, I'm like, huh, it is pretty funny. Like, jester maxing, you know, like, what a funny term. What are these hooligans doing down here? Unbelievable. Jester maxing right here as we speak of it. Unreal. I'm out here trying to enjoy a nice little dinner by myself in Little Italy. Well, what is going on? The guy needs to be checked. All right, we'll see if he comes over here. That's not going to be good. That brings up another thing. Sometimes violence is the answer. Oh, that hooligan causing a ruckus, and I guess someone called the police. Now he's quiet. I'm curious. I wanna go check this out. Oh, there he is. Let's see.
I got assaulted by him, this guy, but that's the guy who fucking assaulted me the most. This guy. Him, it was just little bullshit. But him, this motherfucking broke my fucking face. I didn't hear man too. That's what happened. Okay. It was him. You wanted me to show you the camera what happened? You want to see what happened? Go look at the camera. You want to bring me the camera what happened? I got assaulted by this. I got assaulted. This guy broke my fucking face. My head. That's what happened.
Finally.
It's the guy who's always like making noise here, right? Yeah. So I guess someone finally hit him, huh?
Good.
A Little Italy's jester. Always making noise. All the time.
Always.
I knew I recognized the voice. All right, so let me explain what the hell just happened there. All right, so there's this town jester that is always making a fucking ruckus in Little Italy, because I come here all the time. I feel at home here because I'm Italian. And he is always causing a ruckus. Everybody knows him. He's always bothering people at their tables and all, and beta testing people like we talked about in the last video. And everybody knows him. Everybody knows this. So it seems like somebody finally took an opportunity to crack a bottle over his head top. Now, I don't know the full precise context of the situation, but my guess is that the person who did it probably wasn't acting on pure emotion, but there was probably some rationale involved, and he probably waited for some kind of justification for it because, all good, bro, because he didn't get arrested. Like, they're just talking to him casually, and I would venture to guess he's probably not going to face any consequences. They have footage of it, apparently, and all, and he claims he was assaulted. That's his claim, but I see the way this guy operates, the weird guy, how he's like talks to people at tables and bothers people. Definitely a nuisance. So it's very unlikely that the person who assaulted is going to face consequences because he probably waited for an ideal opportunity. Now, I don't know this for sure. It is possible that he made an emotional decision, and that's stupid. Violence isn't the answer when it's out of emotion, but when it's calculated, it very well could be the answer. When you've thought it through, and it's not something out of emotion and impulse, but something that you just see as a logical decision, then violence can be the answer. So I don't know precisely what provoked him to actually hit him with a bottle, but I would imagine that he was probably harassing some customers and whatnot, like he usually does around here. And someone finally took action on it. So ironic that we were just talking about this. But don't misunderstand my advice. I am not telling you to act on emotion and impulse. Violence isn't the answer in that case. It has to be purely objective and emotionless, calculated. That's what I mean. And there's a chance that it wasn't in that case. I don't know for sure. Another thing I wanted to briefly add, because it's very important, you always want to make sure it's perceived as justified. And the justification doesn't always need to be a precise physical assault on you. But when the general public opinion perceives it as justified and they're on your side, then things will usually work in your benefit. So for instance, this individual is a public nuisance. Everybody in Little Italy knows of him. Everybody knows like this guy is always causing problems and harassing people. So it's kind of expected that when something like this happens, most people are going to side with the other person involved, because that's what happens with public opinion. And when you're dealing with your own specific situations, you always want to make sure that you're the one who's justified and people believe that you're in the right. And so if you're being like beta tested, if you're being like bullied, like it has to be obvious that you are like not instigating it yourself. You know, like if you were acting like a retard out in public, like a jester, and someone called you out on your shit, it's not gonna fly, because you got what you deserved. That's how public opinion is gonna perceive it. But if you were minding your own business and some guy just came up to you, started harassing you, making problems when you were doing nothing wrong, then public opinion will side with you. And the law isn't exactly perfectly aligned with this. Like the law isn't perfect in every single way, but there's something called jury annulment, I think, where even if you break the law, in many cases the jury will not convict you because they perceive you as doing the right thing. Even if it's very obvious you did it, they'll see it like, well, this isn't a bad person. This person probably didn't do something really wrong. There's obviously many instances you could imagine for this, but the point is, you want to be a good person. You want to be a virtuous person for yourself, not trying to prove to others, but if you maintain that, if you are genuinely a good person, you're not going out trying to start trouble with people, trying to create problems, and then a problem comes to you. In many cases, you're going to be perceived in the right, even if you break the law, you know? And even if you do face the legal consequences, there's often ways you can leverage that to still your benefit when the public opinion is on your side. We've seen many instances of people face legal repercussions, but then they're able to find benefits through like social media, for example, telling their side of the story. Then they make a whole business out of the following they've gained. Whenever you're in a situation, before you act, make sure you're in the perceived justified right, and that it's not out of emotion and impulse. It's calculated, it's precise, it's objective, and you know that you're not in the wrong. You are not trying to cause trouble or anything. You're minding your own business. Problem came to your doorstep and you handled it accordingly. Does that make sense? Let me know what you guys think. So I was speaking to the owner a little bit. I asked, her take on this situation, and she was explaining like, yeah, we lose a lot of business because of this guy. And that's so sad because I know it's true. I literally see this guy harassing people while they're trying to enjoy their dinners here. And she confirmed it. She was like, yeah, we lose a lot of business. So I know it's not only her that acknowledges this, but all the other restaurants around here definitely acknowledge it too. I mean, you heard on the video, one guy said, oh, someone finally hit him or whatever. But she also did confirm that the other guy did go to jail because of it, and he got mad or something. So in this precise situation, it doesn't align with the advice I was giving because, remember, you don't want to do it out of emotion or impulse. So in this specific scenario, it wasn't the answer. He would have had to wait for a better justification, like if the guy would have touched him first or something. Maybe that did happen. I mean, they could just be arresting him just to question him, get more details, and maybe he won't face any consequences, but that was just what I heard. The point is, though, even if he does face consequences, he's not going to lose his role at the job here because of it. In fact, he's only going to gain more respect from all the people here. And even the other competing businesses, the restaurants, are going to appreciate them for it. And all these people, they talk together. And they're going to be like, look, we're sorry, you know, you had to go through that situation. We're here for you. And yeah, so it's not a complete net negative, even though it doesn't align with the advice perfectly. Even still, because it's perceived as pretty kind of justified, and like most people here wanted that to happen, there's going to be some benefits he's going to get out of the situation. But because he acted just on impulse, from what I'm told, it probably will be a net negative outcome for him. But there's going to be some positives that come with it too. It's a very nuanced thing. And you have to look at all the indirect consequences as well. Like, even emotionally, like he might be thinking to himself, like, I'm happy that I did that, put that guy in his place. Like, fuck him. You know, I'm not going to get harassed by this guy. I'm not going to let my customers get harassed by this guy. Like, we're gonna put a stop to this. That's it, though.